This show is sponsored by MidasResources.com, your trusted source for precious metals since 1996. Call Midas today at 1-800-686-2237.
Welcome to this week's edition of World Crisis Radio, and this is Webster Tarpley reporting to you from Washington, D.C., and it's our Thanksgiving program. And this, of course, is based on an executive order from the Lincoln administration. I think the story usually goes that it was written by Seward, but it declared a national Thanksgiving. It's based on the older Harvest Festival tradition coming from England and other places. But it's now Thanksgiving for what? For winning the Battle of Gettysburg. And let's always keep that in mind. That's what you're celebrating, that the Union prevailed on the terrible field of Gettysburg. And let me just get ahead of all the other arguments for this week. If you know the Civil War, there is one, the American Civil War, or indeed anyone, but the American one in particular, rather bigger than most. If you know Civil War, there's one overwhelming conclusion, and it's not a matter of detail. I happen to be one of the leading Civil War scholars. My lecture on the Russian fleets is, of course, the most popular video on C-SPAN in their archive in this entire season of the 150th anniversary. I seem to be still leading. And here's my finding. Never again, never again, never again. Anybody who talks about Civil War is a madman. Put him in the clink. Put him in the booby hatch. The loony bin. No. And this now means Senator Tom Coburn, United States Senator from Oklahoma, outgoing, now being replaced by this Lankford character, maybe even worse. Tom Coburn yesterday said on the eve of Obama's statement on immigration that the United States was now threatened by anarchy and violence. I'm sorry, when a senator says this, this is a threat. Coburn is threatening the United States government with anarchy and violence. This is sedition. Now, I'm sure Senator Coburn would argue that he's protected. He can say whatever he wants under the famous speech and debate clause of the Constitution, and that, of course, is a powerful thing. But are there limits? For example, if you advocate the violent overthrow of the government, you can be prosecuted under the Smith Act, provided that this is a direct incitement. It's got to be like crying fire in a crowded theater. Does Coburn's anarchy and violence speech add up to that? I don't know. How about the Rap Brown law? If you cross state lines with the goal of creating a riot, could you be hit with the Rap Brown law? Could Coburn? I don't know. General Sherman, about 150 years ago, was marching to the sea, putting down that last unfortunate rebellion. General Sherman, I think, would have known how to deal with Coburn. But today, it's harder. However, with Coburn has now joined the Civil War caucus. So far, who do we find there? Glenn Beck, articulating the eternal Mormon position of civil war against the United States. And, of course, Michael Savage, a different breed of reactionary or worse. And the worse. When do you cross from being a reactionary to fascism? What's the dividing line? Well, a reactionary works for reactionary policies. We've been talking about them for years here. But does it more or less maintaining the formal legalisms of a legal system? The fascist does it by violence, by armed gangs, by extra legal force, right? Beating up smashing trade union headquarters, destroying media, outlets, their offices and facilities and transmitters and presses and whatever that the fascist doesn't like. So essentially, when you go from being a reactionary to being a fascist, when you start mixing in violence, armed gangs, some of the Republicans getting uncomfortably close to that. And just to add the other important element, I think, of this current situation, if we can find the reference here. Today, we have in the Washington Post a report of yet another Obama security incident, and that's the following. Washington Post of today being Friday, November 21st, 2014, Carol Leonig, headline, Woman near White House with a handgun is arrested. A Michigan woman was arrested by Secret Service officers after she was seen walking along the White House's north fence with a handgun at about 8 p.m. She was there on the perimeter. She was arrested for having an unregistered 9mm handgun in her holster. She was wearing a holster walking around the White House. And as soon as I heard 9mm, I thought, my God, it's Senator-elect Joni Ernst of Iowa. But it turned out not to be Senator-elect Ernst. It turned out to be April Lenhart, 23, accompanied by another person. Oh, my God, she had a handler. She had a minder. That guy was questioned and then released. And he was not his name was not released by the Secret Service. So during the immigration speech, she was walking around the White House at the time of Obama's address to the nation inside the East Room. She was arrested just minutes after he concluded. What kind of a situation is this? This is yet another warning to Obama on various issues, and I think this has gone too far. I was relieved that it wasn't Senator Joni Ernst with her 9mm. She's from the 9mm Smith & Wesson party, okay? The Smith Act, the wraparound law, there are other laws. A real government would use them. Now, as people know, Obama made his speech about immigration. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'd like to talk about international affairs first. Is this question, which we have been attempting to deal with now, is there a policy review in the Obama administration about Syria? And you'll remember that we identified that last week. The notion of a policy review was being used as a cloak by warmonger forces inside the administration to try to bootleg in the actual bombing. And we know that's the modus operandi of Skull and Bones Kerry going back several months now, actually a year back to June of right after the fall of Qusair, Syria, back in June of 2013. He came into a meeting of the deputies, the principals, whatever they call themselves, in the National Security Council, and he said, we should start bombing Syria right away. And at that point, Dempsey was there to say no, but unfortunately, things have gone downhill. I would identify a warmonger cabal which looks like this. It's John McCain, of course, with Lindsey Graham, but also Hillary Clinton, Robert Gates, he's got his shooting his mouth off again, Leon Panetta, General David Petraeus, General John Allen, who's back in the administration, all the neocon think tanks, the AEI, the Institute for the Study of War, the Kagan Family Party, Robert Kagan, Kim Kagan, Frederick Kagan, with Kerry and Samantha on the inside working with them. That's the warmonger cabal, and they don't give up. And they're supported by powerful outside forces. Let's just give a couple of examples on that. Last week, just no sooner had our broadcast of last week gone up, that we found in the Washington Post a big article on the front page about how the warmonger forces were attempting to use the time that Obama was out of town. Back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
With autumn in the air, it's time to think about getting ready for winter. And it's time to save at herbalhealer.com. You'll find amazing seasonal savings to prepare you for the fight against cold and flu season. Like Oregacillin to promote lung health. 30 capsules, regularly $34.95, now only $25. HHA olive leaf, the natural antiviral, normally $16.95, now 60 capsules are just $12. HHA elderberry power, a great flu and virus fighter, regularly $16.95, 60 capsules, now $10. Save on all our homeopathic detoxes. Choose from lungs, kidney, liver, brain, libido, or whole body, normally $26.95, now just $20. Visit herbalhealer.com and click on the Fall Winter Specials button to save on all our natural cold and flu fighting products. Also explore our Herbal Healer Academy correspondence courses that teach you how to handle your health naturally. herbalhealer.com, healing the world with nature, one person at a time, since 1988.
The experts at Web.com want to build your business a successful website for free, just like we did for these current Web.com customers.
We've used and looked at other website designers, but there's nobody better than Web.com.
Web.com can build your website in as little as 7 days free. Plus, we'll promote it on all the major search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. If after 30 days you're happy, we'll continue to provide promotion, hosting, support, and maintenance, all for one low monthly fee. If not, cancel and pay nothing.
If you're in business today and you don't have a web presence, you won't be taken seriously.
Call right now and you'll also get a free .com or .net domain name for your new website, powered by VeriSign, the world's leading domain name provider.
Call 800-297-0154. That's 800-297-0154.
No upfront charge for site build, after which ongoing fees apply. Rights to site are relinquished when canceled. Domain included during active service, after which fees apply.
That's 800-297-0154.
UnseenNow.com, proud sponsor of GCN. Unseen Now's unparalleled encryption tools keep your communications secure. GC.
Welcome back to World Crisis Crisis Radio, our Thanksgiving edition. Happy Thanksgiving to all. And it's a wonderful holiday, and we're all for it, and we're celebrating that the Battle of Gettysburg turned out the way it did. Don't ever forget that part, because without that, the abundance would not.